Hi Quilters, today's show is all about the current 2023 AQS AccuQuilt-Along project.
So stay tuned to see how everyone's finished quilts turned out.
Hi Quilters, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
All right, Quilters, welcome to today's event called the 2023 AQS AccuQuilt-Along Series Shoe Fly Spin Throw Quilt Show and Tell.
That's right.
Today, we're going to show off our quilts and many of your finished ones as well.
That's right. Now, if this is the first show that you're tuning in for this Quilt-Along series, we do want to recommend that you go back and watch each of the other shows in order so you can create yours right alongside with us.
We started with the introduction show on July 19th, where Erica joined my Wednesday AccuQuilt Live event, and we explained all that you needed to get started on and how to create this pattern.
I busted right in.
She did.
Then from August 2nd through August 30th, we cut, we sewed, we quilted. Well, we haven't quilted, but some of you have.
Some of you have already quilted.
The Go Shoe Fly Spin Throw Quilt, and went through all the different stages and sections.
Now, all of these shows live on the AccuQuilt website under the video gallery, on our Facebook page, and definitely on our YouTube channel.
That's right. Now, I've also written blog posts with extra tips and tricks for each part of the Quilt-Along, and the introduction blog is where you'll find the rotary cutting directions too. Now, remember, our friends at AQS also have a blog post that they've been updating all along. So every week they've been updating that. You can find those rotary directions there as well.
All right, without further ado, let's get started on our show and tell today. Now, if you have questions or comments, we want you to put them in the comment section wherever you're streaming the show. And the lovely Erica has her laptop, so she can we can look at those questions and answer them today.
Yes.
Okay,
so
we're excited.
I'm all ready.
Okay.
I'm sitting here.
And a huge shout out to our team who are help moderating those questions today.
Yes. All right. Now, some of you are much faster than we are. Let's just put it there. Let's just call it what it is. So here's where I am so far. I stayed up late last night and got my borders on.
Can we see this? This is so pretty.
So we've got it folded in fourths, and you can see I pulled out
the sage and the
sage green, and then popped in the white and put that pink border, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bind it with the same matching pink.
And is it Ballet Slipper Grunge?
It is Ballet Slipper
Pink.
Grunge.
I love it.
By Moda.
And this is so pretty. And then Erica, do you want to talk? Oh, well, we'll talk about finishing off in just a second.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I love how this all turned out. You know, when you see the blocks individually, it looks way different.
It does. It does.
Right?
It's really interesting how it looks. And I went with very low contrast with mine because, again, mine's for a baby girl who's coming to join our family. So,
Caroline.
Baby Caroline. So I've made mine kind of soft look for her.
Yeah, there you go.
Girly, girly. So Pam, how are you coming along?
Well, I have all but 3 of my blocks finished.
Excellent.
So I really spent some time last week working on that. And remember, quilters, this is a quilt-along and not a contest.
Right.
I mean, Erica finished hers last night. Some of you finished yours weeks ago.
Weeks.
And I also found that if the shoe fly blocks were the easiest to sew, so I sewed those last. So the spin blocks were the ones that I really did some chain piecing, right? But we want to sit back and enjoy this process, right? All right?
That's right.
So I will finish those 3 blocks, and then I'm going to add those 3 borders, just like you.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the red and the black and the white. So very similar to the quilt that is behind us.
Okay. Now, you've been traveling quite a bit.
I have.
We've had corporate meetings. We've also been a little busy getting ready for some pretty exciting new dies coming out.
Wait till you
see. But we think everybody out there will understand because you like new dies, right?
You do. You do. All right, now that we've shown off some of our creations, we want to take a look at what you all have created, starting with what maybe have been the first completed top by Mickey W. And Mickey, does this not look like strawberries, Erica?
I believe that is strawberries. It's so pretty.
So pretty. And I love the border of it. It just looks lovely.
That blue strawberry border, it just really pulls it all together. I love that.
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Now
Good job, Mickey.
Good job. Now don't forget, put your questions up there. Our moderators will get them up to me. The next up, we've got 2 pictures from Gail O.
Oh, this is a funny
She
story.
has not only been sewing along with us, literally, but she took her project along with her in her RV.
Yep.
So here is the look on this, and Gail has actually created a king-size quilt out of this project.
So Gail used a bigger size cube. We used the 5-inch cube. But look, she's watching us.
She's watching us in the RV.
And where was she going to?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. We think that's great.
Just up the street, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, those are great. All right, another early finisher was Wendy M. And I love this colorway. And Erica, this is more like a navy blue
I think
and a
so.
yellow,
It
right?
looked much more like a navy in the picture than
and I
after
feel
I saved
like Wendy also used a cube bigger than a 5-inch
it.
cube.
Yes, yes. I don't know
And
what
some of you
size,
did,
but
which I think is brilliant.
yeah.
As I was sewing those little pieces together for those spin blocks, I thought, oh.
Did call and make some comment about that to me.
Yeah, I
in
said,
the
next
middle.
time we think we should do something with the 5-inch cube, let's think bigger.
But do you not have that? See, that happens to me. When after I make something with small pieces, then I feel like making something with really big pieces.
I do as well.
All right, Debbie B was another busy quilter.
This
She
is so
finished
fun.
2 tops.
2, look at that.
2. Not only did she finish 2, but she has the best models ever
With
for
those
her
feet.
for her quilts. And I think that these same little fuzzy feet showed up in our last quilt
I think
along
so, too.
pictures as well. I love them.
so, too.
I
And
don't remember who the foot models are, but kudos.
And Debbie, I think the one on the right is Halloween, and you should just send it to me. But isn't that
They're
fun?
lovely.
I love that she did 2.
Yes.
Okay, and honestly, quilters, while you're sewing spin blocks,
Just keep going
just
and make
keep
more.
going. Okay. All right, what a great group of quilts, and I can't wait to see even more of them. Now, if you're wondering how we got these pictures, they're ones that have been posted on the AQS Quilting Project Parade Facebook group, and we use the hashtag AQSews.
Right.
And if every time you post, you use that hashtag, then Eric and I, we just go in and search for that
Right.
hashtag, and then we can comment and we can tell you how beautiful they are.
Because we love seeing them. I think
Oh my
everybody
gosh,
does.
it's so fun.
I think everybody does. This has just become
Yeah.
such a wonderful, supportive, helpful community of quilters.
Right.
I love it.
And we hope you will continue posting your pictures there and sharing them
Yes.
with all of us. Remember, it's not a race, so you'll look for my finished project. It'll be
Yep.
there. It's a long weekend.
It is a long weekend.
And my goal is to finish that, and then I'll post it in the Project Parade.
Because otherwise you're just going to have another UFO, right?
Right? Yeah.
You were binding a quilt the other night. I can't tell you how proud I am.
I not only bound one that night, but I bound another one last night.
Be still my heart.
2 in 2 days.
2 in 2 days.
Because binding is the bane of my existence.
I've
And
tried everything.
We talked about that last week, about
did.
cutting your binding as you're cutting your pieces.
Cutting your
So
binding.
I think the next time I do a project, that's what I'm going to do. Because otherwise,
you
I'm just
every
like,
time.
I know, every time she does. But I
Every
did.
time.
And one of our influencers, Adam So Fun,
Yes.
who I love.
Yes.
Adam also finds binding difficult, and he actually bound a quilt the other day.
I find borders difficult. I get hung up on borders. I have a Christmas quilt that I have had finished since January, except for the borders.
Okay.
And now we're coming up, and I thought, oh, there's no rush.
Yeah.
Well, at the rate I'm going, there's
There's a
going to be a
rush.
rush.
It's August.
All right.
Almost September.
Yes, almost.
Okay.
All right, the next quilt up has to be one of my favorites because I love the Happy Sunny fabrics. This is Janet T's, and I just love her fabrics.
Okay, do we think it's a reproduction fabric?
I think that it is. I think it's like a 30s look reproduction. You know, these are smaller pieces, and they really lend themselves to those little tiny
I
prints.
think that's great because she probably used the 5-inch cube like you and me.
And the red and the yellow with that bright blue is just such a fun pop of color.
Janet did not feel the need to add more than one border, and I like that one.
She did one wider border, and I really like how it looks.
That's a thought. I haven't done my borders yet. I could just do a wider.
Do one.
Okay. All right, I'm also in love. Oh, Annette did this Halloween theme one. I love it. She's using purple and black and yellow and orange. But the part that's even better is, Erica, look, there is candy corn fabric that she's using.
And I think she's fussy cut a Halloween print for that center square even.
Okay, Annette, this is just darling.
So cute.
Just darling. So just keep moving on.
Keep it on. And don't forget to post your questions. Now, speaking of color, here are a couple of pictures from Colleen WR. Now, this is really fun because on the one side, you've got a shot of her design from Go Quilt. And then on the other side, you have her final fabric selections. And I really love the color palette she's using.
Well, and she was great because she posted it on the Facebook page, and then she said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, first of all, it's that blue Grinch, so how could we go wrong?
How could it be wrong? Yeah."
But she used that stripe fabric for her binding.
Yes.
And you know how I love a good stripe binding.
Yes, and it looks just adorable. Unfortunately, the picture got up after I had already gone through for pictures.
Yeah, it's darling. Good job, Colleen. All right, here's another great color scheme. This is red, white, and blue from Gail L. And she is donating this one to Quilts of Valor. And do you not love the star fabric that's in the border?
It just pulls it all together, don't you think?
I think so.
And then she's got the red outer border, and it looks like maybe a blue binding. So it just really, it pulls it together. And we saw several in that red, white, and blue color frame. And I have to think there's more than one that will probably find its way.
Oh, I think so, too.
But Gail did another interesting thing. And if you look really carefully at hers, she did not do shoe fly blocks. She did churn dash blocks.
She did, which is similar but not.
Right. So the difference between a churn dash and a shoe fly is the side blocks, the side and top centers, are going to be two rectangles put together instead of a solid square.
And because of that, it created a secondary look that looks like the border that's sashing between the blocks.
Right.
I think it's stunning.
And if you kind of, haze your eyes a little bit, you get almost a circular looking design, right?
What kind of design?
Circular.
There we go. There we go.
A little bit of trouble there.
I love it. So many great ones. And I feel like this was such a great one to put for Quilts of Valor.
It is.
Right,
we have a question. We do. And it made me laugh out loud. Sandy R. wants to know if the Star Wars models in the background mean we have a Star Wars die coming out.
Okay, so the answer to that is no. Star Wars, the good people at Lucas Limited would have a little problem.
Have a little problem with that. But
Brock, our producer, he is a big-time Star Wars fan. We kind of all are.
Yeah,
here in the studio. So we have Emmett. We should tell you.
Right. So Emmett's over here sewing. So we started with Emmett. Emmett is our mascot here in the studio.
Yes.
He's a little Lego minifig, and he's from the Lego movie because he sings "Everything is Awesome."
Right.
And then I built him a Lego sewing machine, and you can see he stole one of my units. Oh no!
I got him.
Emmett down. Emmett down.
Emmett down.
He's been quilting along with us with one of my units over there.
Isn't he super cute?
And then from there, it's just kind of...
It has morphed. It has morphed. So every time we have a show, you should try and find Emmett. Where's Waldo?
That's right. And there's always things going on in the background. So
sometimes there's hints about things.
Sometimes there are.
All right.
But not that we have a Star Wars die coming out.
Okay. Now, speaking of hints, I bet all of our viewers would love to know about our next quilt-along that starts on Wednesday, October 4th.
I bet they would. But you know what? We're not quite ready to spill the tea on that yet, but we know what it is.
We do. We do.
So, quilters, you're going to have to keep an eye out on the AccuQuilt blog and the AQS Quilting Project Parade Facebook group for maybe some clues about that project coming up.
And Eric and I will make that big reveal right here on Wednesday, September 20th, 12 noon Central Time, that AccuQuilt Live at the end of that show that day. We're going to make the big announcement. Don't miss out. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun.
Erica is super excited about this one.
I am super excited. I will tell you one thing. I don't think I put a clue in the blog either for today, so we'll give you a clue. The blocks are going to finish to 9 inches. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you're getting
That's all we know. All right. Now, quilters, before we end our show and tell for this Quilt-Along series, we have a special prize for a lucky viewer who registered for today's show.
That's right. Now, the lucky winner of $100 in AccuQuilt reward points is, drum roll please, it is Janet H. from Gate City, Virginia. Congratulations.
Janet. I will put those $100 reward points in your account today after our show.
That's right.
All right, quilters, don't forget we have plenty of special offers available for you on our website.
That's right. To get your order in, open a new tab in your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com/party to see the deals and place your order. And look, we're showing you this month's die to try.
Yes, it's our die to try. He's our sloth.
It's the Ghost Sloth. And you know what? We're almost through the month of August.
Yes, tomorrow is the last day of August.
Get your sloth while you can. We still have a few left, and your local AccuQuilt retailer may have some. So get a sloth while you can. He's been very popular.
He has, and we have some really, really cute embroidery designs available
so cute. And the
on our
patterns
website.
are adorable.
Yep, I love him.
Patterns are just adorable. So be sure to check that out and get yourself a sloth.
Okay, and don't forget to keep posting your progress in our AQS Facebook Project Parade Facebook page. And do we have any questions out there in the ether world?
Any other questions?
I think quilters are still just sewing their blocks.
I think they are too. So
good for you.
I've got this done, but I'm not going to be quilting mine this weekend. I am heading off. I'm heading out of town tomorrow.
Where are you going?
I am going to the great state of Iowa. My bestie and I'm going all the way to the
all the way to Iowa.
We are going on our annual self-design shop hop of quilt shops, and we're going to take our machines and some projects and sew at night. And you're going to sew this weekend too, aren't you?
I am going to sew this weekend because I am getting ready to head out of town. I will be teaching classes at AQS Grand Rapids. My Thursday class is sold out, but I still have room in my Friday class. And then the following week, I will be at Missouri Star Quilt Company for birthday bash.
That's right.
We're going to have a great time there. So that will be fun. And Erica and I, not today, but maybe next week, we'll spill some beans about some things that we might be doing together.
Yeah, some things coming up in October even.
Yep. All right, so don't forget, post your progress and use the hashtag AQSews so that we can see all of your progress. Okay, and you're going to find more great pictures at the end of our. We have a little montage.
Yes, we do. We do. Now, we've got a question from Stephanie, and she wants to know the 2 blocks in the sample behind us, which are the 2 blocks in the sample on the table. And those are the 2 blocks in this Quilt-Along's pattern called the Shoo Fly Spin.
So here's the spin block. And again, we used our 5-inch cube, but you could use, there are instructions for 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Is that right, Erica?
That's correct.
Right there. And then this is the Shoo Fly block, which is super easy because you use shape number 3 and shape number 1.
Right.
But you'll need the cube and companion set corners.
And if you want to rotary cut it, those directions were back in the introduction blog when we first started.
Okay.
And you can also go ahead and you'll still want to go into AccuQuilt.com and download the pattern. And that is, for the 5-inch version, that's going to give you those directions on how to cut and assemble your quilt.
Excellent.
So this is the project we've been working on.
Okay.
And we're all ready now to get them. I'm ready to get my fine backing because I haven't done that yet.
Yes, fine backing.
I have commitment issues when it comes to backing.
She does.
And then get it quilted.
Yeah. Yep, it'll be fun.
Now, you're going to find even more quilts pictured on today's AccuQuilt blog, and AQS is going to be working hard to include a picture of every single quilt that they have seen posted on the Facebook group in their blog as well. So keep posting your pictures and, of course, using that hashtag AQSews.
All right, quilters, on behalf of our entire team here, so in the Dream Studio, we have Brock and Kenyon and Greg, and offsite we have Courtney and Katie, and who else is helping? Oh, Renee, is Ray helping us?
Maybe Ray is. Oh, we have one little quick question for Bill. What's the widest die for binding strips?
So we typically use 2.5-inch strips for binding.
Right.
But you could also use 1 3/4 or 2 1/4.
Right. Really whatever you want to use. Our dies go from 1 inch all the way up to 6.5 inch for those strip dies.
Yeah. Yep.
So quick, is there any? I don't see any other questions. I just wanted to be sure we got everything.
Okay.
And as Pam said, be sure you stay tuned so you can watch the montage of some of the other Shoo Fly Spin quilt projects that other quilt makers have made. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. So much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.
Be here every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time for launch parties and trunk shows. These events are filled with tips, tricks, and inspiration. Next time, we'll be revealing September's Die to Try series die. Tune in to see if you've won a door prize that we'll give away during the show.
And be sure to join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. We have tons of fun. Next time, we'll be making a project using the Die to Try for September. I can't wait